Hello, I'm back again with another MoYou London plate. This is Artist Collection 13, and this is a combination plate. It's one of their collage style plates, but it's a little bit different from their other collage style plates. It's very textural, and it's almost like itself is a mosaic of another plate, like you took a plate and froze it in liquid nitrogen and then just went psh and broke it, and then you put it together on another plate, which is kind of cool and I like it. But let me walk you through this and I'll give you some ideas of what to do with it. Okay, up here in this corner we have some paving, like crackling, and I love that effect. I personally, I'll be honest, I wish they didn't put the name in there. I know why they did it, and that's great, but I wish that there was more of a surface to work with that didn't have that. There's still enough, though, that you can cover your full nail if you just want to get that pattern on your full nail. Over here, we have a little bit of a kind of a checkered pattern, but not exactly checkered. And then you've got this little gecko guy who I think is so cute. And you can get your little checkered pattern with him in there, or you can kind of work around him and get a little bit without him. It's going to be harder, though, I think, in this to get part of that pattern without him. Still, I think he's pretty cute, so there you go. I love this mosaic pattern with these circles. I think it's great, and there's definitely plenty of, even if your nails are longer, there's plenty of space there that you can get what you want from that. And then I didn't talk about this little kind of star thing that you got going there. Notice it's pretty big, so even if you started it like at your cuticle, you could get a spray that goes, you know, mostly across your nail, or you could start it, you could have it, you know, do it like this, coming down off the tip of your nail into your cuticle, or even, you know, sideways. So there are some pretty cool things you could do with that, just if you wanted that and you didn't want to get any of this pattern that goes along with it. I, however, think that this is one of the strengths of this plate. I really love this this stripe that they have here. So notice they've given you plenty of room, so this is easy to isolate. You can check out, I'll link down my tutorial on how to isolate images if you aren't sure how to do that. But notice you could just use this as a stripe going up on the side of your nail, whatever. You could do it across the top or across the bottom. They've made this really easy to work with, and I like this kind of Grecian pattern here. This, you could, it's a little bit harder to get, not get that, but you could still play around with this and get, you know, this going a little over across your nail like that at a different angle. You could probably actually get this area right here where it would look straight if you stamped it once it's out of the context of the other. And then on this end you've got some little flower daisy stuff going on there in the stripe that you could easily use that as a stripe different ways across your nail. Then for me, the really cool part of this is, like I say, this kind of cracked mosaic that they have with the different patterns. I think that this will make just amazing, not exactly patchwork because they're already broken, but it will make for amazing patterns on your nails that you can take from everywhere. Like maybe I just want these two patterns right here. I could put that in the center of my nail. I could combine all of this. I can take different images from all these different places. They've got this cool little crackled gecko over here that you could just pull the gecko and the little pieces around him. So you can get all kinds of different feels depending on the different patterns here. And you could, I mean, there's just an infinite number of things that you could do with it. So maybe you like this sort of geometric swirly, and you want to, on another nail, put this more angular geometric. So you could have maybe that on an accent nail, and that here on the rest of your nails. So you can play around with picking up the different patterns. Maybe you want this little gecko guy on one nail, and then the rest of this sort of crackled part over here. So take a look. I've mentioned a few other times in a few other videos, but I'm never sure what order I'm going to load these, so I will say it again, that Chit Chat Nails has this great idea where you just take on a piece of paper the shape of your nail, draw it on a piece of paper and cut it out, And then put the piece of paper over, and you can get a look at what different areas will look like over your nail. And so, you know, maybe you get like maybe you're gonna do this and you're afraid because you don't, yeah, am I gonna like that other pattern? But then once you put your little piece of paper, you'll see that, you know, this one little flower that you're gonna pick up, it's not really even gonna be that noticeable. So it helps you plan where you can pick up some really cool things, what else you're going to get with it, and whether or not it's actually going to show. So that will give you a little bit more flexibility with working with plates like this. Another thing, of course, that you could do is you could maybe either this way or the other way start your pattern where the stripe is and pick up part of that, and then part of these paved images. I personally think that could be very, very cool with like a French tip kind of deal, and then getting the parts of the images down here on the rest of your nail. You could also do it this way, and maybe you want to do it this way for some nails, or you know, maybe that's just going to be your accent nail, like right here. That would be that could be pretty cool, with part of that and then part of this design here on one nail. Maybe you're going to pick up different nails. You could also get some cool stuff going on up here in the swirly parts. So play around with it. And another thing, check out how cool would this be, like getting this right here on your nail and then having this on your other nails. So you can play around with these different patterns. And I think that they've got the different patterns here that pick up things from other plates that they have. So on another artist collection plate, they have Gustav Klimt stuff that looks a little bit like some of these pictures and or some of these patterns. And so it could be very cool to combine that with images from that other plate if you have that other plate. So I will do a post about this plate on my blog, and I will give you some ideas on how to use this, and all of that information will be linked in the description box where you can find that, along with stills of this. And then in the meantime, let's take a look at the standard Konad plate next to this so you can get a feel for the different areas of the plate and how big they are. So most people kind of know if a Konad plate is big enough for their nails or not, and that gives you a feel for, you know, so you can see that there's just a huge amount of area here. If you like the gecko, there's plenty of area here that you can play around with, and lots of fun stuff that you can do. Okay, like I said, everything will be linked down below, and thanks for watching.